You know, with everything that's going on in the world right now, it kind of feels like we're in dire straits. But it could also mean you're just listening to some really cool music. Coming up next. Hi, this is Scott. Welcome to this week's episode of Righteous Vinyl. Thanks for hitting play on the video and finding out who is on the turntable this time around. Dire Straits, been a band that's been around since 1977. Originally founded by frontman Mark Knopfler and lead guitarist. They've given us some great hits over the years, starting out with Sultans of Swing off their self-titled premiere album. And of course, the haunting, not the haunting, but the... I would say the anthem of the 1980s. Anthem is a better word, of course. And I Want My MTV with Money for Nothing. But I'm going to tell you about my favorite Dire Straits album. And it's the album from 1982. It is the fourth studio album from Dire Straits. And it is Love Over Gold. Tracks included on this album are Private Investigation, Industrial Disease, and the longest track on the album, Telegraph Road. Private Investigations and Industrial Disease would be the two singles off of the album that would be released as singles. Private Investigations would come in at number 2 on the UK charts, and Industrial Disease would peak at number 9 on the hot mainstream rock singles tracks for the UK. In 2020, Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs released most of the catalog for Dire Straits, beginning with, again, the self-titled album from 1978, Communique from 1979, Making Movies from 1980, which has that great single Rollaway on it. Great song by Dire Straits. And of course, Love Over Gold from 1982, which is the album we're talking about, and Brothers in Arms from 1985, with the anthem, of course, Money for Nothing, with I Want My MTV, sung by Sting. And also had another single off that album, Walk of Life. No word on the album On Every Street, which was the last Dire Straits album to be released back in 1991. One of my favorite tracks on Love Over Gold, of course, is Telegraph Road. There's only 5 tracks on this album, but it's a great album to listen to on a rainy evening. Get yourself an adult beverage. It's probably the most progressive Dire Straits album that they have released, with Money for Nothing. With Brothers in Arms being the most commercially successful album, to date. On Every Street gave us the single Heavy Fuel and Calling Elvis, but maybe wasn't as commercially successful for the band, and they kind of wrapped things up back in 1991. With Love Over Gold, it was number 1 in 6 major markets, including Australia, New Zealand, and in the UK, but it would only peak at number 19 here in the US on the Billboard's Top 200 albums. But it's one album that I highly recommend. The album is released again. Here it is. Here's my MoFi copy. It's on 180-gram vinyl, and you play it back on 45 RPM. But since there's only 5 tracks on the album, Telegraph Road takes up, side 1, and then the other songs are on the other side. Private Investigations probably also be on side 1 because it's a shorter album. So that's it. That's this week's Righteous Vinyl feature, and Dire Straits with their 1982 album, released on Mobile Fidelity, half-speed remaster, 180-gram vinyl, Love Over Gold. So, always giving a shout-out to friends and family over on Facebook, and thank you for following the page. Getting a lot of likes from last week's episode. It's really great to be back doing this. This is going to be also shown on YouTube. And if you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to click on a like and subscribe to the page. we're going to be doing a little bit more in the future as well. I'm Scott Oliver, your host for Righteous Final, always reminding you, no matter what spins in your life, make sure it is playing your favorite type of music. Thanks for watching. See you next time.